He explained yesterday, we quoted the Gemara in Soto, that the word Odom is an acronym for Afer, Dam, and Moro. So he says, Afer and Ofer, like the Gemara says in Chulin, he didn't bring the Gemara Chulin, V'kisi Adam. It says V'chiso b'Ofer, right? You slaughter a bird or an undomesticated animal, you cover its blood after you do the shechita. So what about if you want to take ash? Even though it says V'chiso be'Ofer, it's spelled with an ayin, it says you can use Afer. Ofer, Afer is the same thing. So what is a human being? You come from the dust. You came from the dust, you're going back to the dust. This is all to humble the person. Right? Dam. What's dam? You're only alive because you have blood. Blood is the life source. Ki damo nefesh. Mora is the ultimate end. Where does it end? It ends in the grave. It's bitter. It's going to be a bitter situation, unless if you behave like the bosser, like the odom, it's bitter. If you follow your inclinations, it's bitter. At the end, it's going to be bitter. So it's to humble the person to realize that he's really nothing. Okay? That's where we left off yesterday. Meaning the human being has relevance to vacuum. Ultimately, there's going to be a vacuum, a void. Right? A person dies, so what happens? It's a void. See, the Gemara says in Shabbos, what is it analogous to? The king goes and distributes quality garments, pristine quality garments to all the subjects, and he says to them, I'm giving to you for safekeeping, and when I come back and you return them to me, they should be in the same pristine condition I've given them to you. So he says, the wise men went, and they would take care of them, they would clean them, they would protect them. The fools, they'd go out to the field, and they would actually do all the work in the field. They would soil them, they became shredded, and years later the king comes and he says, it's time to return the garments. So the wise men, they give back the garments in their pristine condition. So he says, you people, because you obeyed my orders, you're welcome to enter the palace for the banquet. The others, when they returned soiled rags, shredded material, he says, you people, you deserve not only not to come to that, to be punished. So the nimshal, look, same thing with the neshama. Kodesh Baruch Hu gives you a neshama, pristine soul. He says, look, I want it minimally to be returned as pure as I gave it to you. So the question, how do you return it? Do you return it? It's all beaten up. It's like give a person. Remember one time, a person, I gave my car to park in the garage, come back. Looks like it was in the Indianapolis 500, banged up. I said, what happened? We don't know what happened. I said, so you better send it into the collision shop, have it all fixed. What's going on over here? Kodesh Baruch Hu is something so perfect. This is what you give back to him. Same idea. So if you don't give it back, so they got to bang out the dents. So that's Gehenim. They bang out the dents. Okay, repaint. You need a paint job, new fender, new bumper, new everything. Sometimes it's like forever. You call up the collision. Is it ready yet? It's take a while. When are you coming out? It's going to take a while. It's not simple. It's going back years ago. That you meet from the beginning to the end, in terms of physicality, he's nothing. He's dirt, he's dust, blood. So, Va'od Shem Boser. What is Boser an acronym for? He's a Busha. Shame, Srucha putrid, Rima maggots. Or the Shin was Sheol. Disgrace, shame, the grave, and maggots. Those are the steps. You could return it in a better condition. You do mitzvahs. You do tshuva. So tshuva goes and cleanses it.
Life takes toll on the neshama.
No. But it could take toll on the physicality. It takes toll.
But not on the neshama.
Only if you sin.
Like if you suffer, if you have.
Has no relevance to the neshama. What does that do with the neshama? Sufferings are physical. Physical.
Losses of members of the family.
So that is what does it do with the neshama? So if you put it in perspective, say Baruch Dynamis, right? If you put it in the right context, the other way, that's a basis to advance virtue. And if you have questions and all kinds of issues, then it takes you down. It takes the person down. He says, Odom is the makeup. That's the makeup of the person. Efer, Dam, Moro. At the end, where does this entity go? Goes into the grave. That's the end of the story. What about Boser? Shunivr min Odom mizat tzad hu Efer, Dam, Moro. Avoshem Boser lo nema mitzad avoyoser. Boser is not to identify the makeup. That's not the physical makeup. Boser is the person. Shame. Putrid. Maggots. Okay, we'll see that. That's because of the deficiency that you brought about. We speak about shameful. What shame? Shameful is behavior. Shameful. He said, when we're alive, there are many things that have to do with our physical existence, which are shameful. Abushu hefsid ma. Ki abushu kibui ubitul or aponim, shaponim ikar ametzius. We say ponim. What is ponim? Ponim is pinim. Everything reflects on one's face. When a person is shamed, normally a person radiates. But what happens when a person has shame? It's actually it's lessened. That radiance, that feeling of joy is not there when you're shamed. What about something putrid? Putrid is worth something shameful act. Person behaving shamefully. What about something putrid? That's beyond shameful. Right? The behavior is putrid. It's putrid. When something rots. Rotting is beyond, something is off, is going bad, it tastes, right? It's not acceptable. What about it's already rotting? Rotting is worse than, it's off. It's already, it's in the decomposing, it's in decomposition mode, if it's rotting. Ultimately, when we speak of the maggots, it's just not just the rotting, it's already at a level that there are worms in there, the maggots. That's even more extreme than just putrid. He says, the two connotations of Odom and Sarua and Boser should not be taken lightly the way he's explaining it. This is profound regarding to appreciate what Odom is. Right, the three letters. The man is made up of three base elements. Here. It's interesting. Man is made up of earth, right? But you have fire, water, and wind. Together with Adoma. We start off with Adoma, then we have the three letters. So the Adoma with Afer, Dam, Moro, that's four. That's the totality of man, the four elements of a person. L'kach b'shem Odom gimel osius connect gimel yisodos ve'Afer, Dam, Moro hem connected gimel yisodos b'shem Odom hu Adomo hu hayisod haravi. It says interesting. Each one individually corresponds to one of the elements, but in totality, you're Odom. Why are we called Odom? Because we come from Adama. Because we come from the earth. So the totality, it's like, the sum total is greater than its parts. Correct? It's made up of three elements, but in totality, it's Odom. It's Adama. It includes the fourth. No, we have heat. Right? What? To one. Whatever it is. I mean, you breathe. That's wind, evidently. There's liquid in the person's body. It's water, right? The majority of the person's body is water. And you have heat, right? You have temperature. And then you have it's made of earth. No, Adoma. Adoma is the totality. Adoma is the totality.
But I was hearing the wind, fire, the earth, the Adama, I understand. But the wind corresponds to the earth.
He's not explaining that. He's not explaining that. Like Afer. What's Afer? Afer that's the dust. Seemingly Afer is, he says, because it says you've come from dust, you're going back to dust. So seemingly that's Adoma. But I think it's a different thing. Adoma, what it connotes as the Malbim says, and the Maharal says elsewhere, Adoma is potential. That's growth, right? Dust has no. That's Atem Kriyim Odom, because we could advance ourselves. If you leave earth fallow, it's nothing. You seed it, then you work it. All life comes from the ground. No, because he can't advance himself spiritually. Can't advance himself. Only a Jew can advance himself spiritually. To be continued.
So one Jew is not an Adam.
In terms of spiritual advancement, a non-Jew has to maintain the spirituality he was given by God. But to advance himself spiritually, he can't. That's where you find that the mitzvahs of a non-Jew are only negative commandments, not positive commandments. Except for setting up a judicial system, that's only to guarantee that the negatives are kept. No. Hashem says, just don't do these things. Keep what you have. What I've given you, so that's really the mushal of the garments. That's exactly. Keep it the way I've given to you. The Jew, it's more than keep what I've given to you. I want you to advance it. No. The neshama is reinfused in that body, and then that spirituality of the neshama spiritualizes the body. The body takes on a whole different connotation. You understand?
This is after the before.
The two Tchias Mesams. I'm not sure what it'll be fully spiritualized, but true spiritual. He explains. The Ramchal explains. If you take something and you put it, you have an electrical appliance, and you put in 100 million volts. What happens to it? Burn. It'll incinerate it immediately. The neshama to the body is the equivalent of that. Neshama is spiritual component. The power is unlimited. You put it into a physical body, it should spiritualize it immediately. So what does Hashem do? He suppresses that. He doesn't allow it to affect the body. He only lets it affect it to the degree that he wants that a person should be in the balance of Bechira. But ultimately, whenever you do a mitzvah, it's spiritualized. So it becomes even more empowered. It should totally spiritualize the body, and you build up a whole spiritual account. It should totally engulf it, subsume it, and it should be something which is not to be believed what it would do, that you don't even recognize the physicality of your body. That's going to happen at Tchias HaMesim. That will happen after the person's it's not clear. Not clear. Okay.